Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 11 preview between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with Kansas City.
Offensively, the Chiefs have three guys in Jamal Charles, Dexter McCluster, and Donnie Avery that possess a lot of speed and agility, and all three excel in space. So in my opinion, the best plan of attack versus the Denver Broncos is to make this a horizontal game. You want to spread the field and play the quick game. Basically, some of the same concepts they've been doing all season long. I would also take advantage of Alex Smith's mobility by getting him on the move, and also some design run plays for him to pick up those cheap 3 to 4 yards. Defensively, you have to take away the interior from Peyton Manning so he can't step up in the pocket, which is why I believe Dontari Poe will have to have a huge game, as well as in the secondary, whether it's man or zone. Pre-snap, you should have the same look. You have to show press, and then after the snap, you still have to press to throw off the timing. Free safety Kendrick Lewis has to stay deeper than the deepest man versus the Broncos passing game, because it's best to be out of the play than to be the one to give up the big play. Now let's move over to Denver in this ball game, and the Broncos offensive line will face its toughest test yet versus Kansas City. The one thing these guys do very well is communicate, and it's that communication that'll be key, as the Chiefs are a team that does a great job in getting pressure, and they throw a lot of exotic looks at your offensive line. I'd also expect the Broncos to try to combat that pressure by running right at it, so that's why the running game will have to alleviate some of the pressure off Peyton Manning, and they have to get that going very early in this ball game. Defensively, I believe the biggest key will be the protection of the flats and the hook-to-curl zones, and the ability to make plays in space. The Chiefs don't do anything fancy on offense. It's that they force you as a defense to execute the little things all the time, like making one-on-one tackles, being where you're supposed to be defensively. And as aggressive as the Broncos can be on defense, they have to stay alert for the Chiefs' screen game, which is why I believe the linebackers of the Broncos need to bring their A game both mentally as well as physically.
It's obvious that the Kansas City Chiefs will have to get pressure on Peyton Manning in order to have success, and he's hobbled back there in the pocket. So I'm going to show you how they can get pressure while protecting themselves versus the quick pass, i.e. to Julius Thomas or one of the big wide receivers that they love to throw the football to quickly. So what we're going to show you is pre-snap cover 2, but it's really cover 1, and it's a fake strong safety blitz, and we're banjoing the tight end, which means we're playing him inside out. So I'm going to show you what all that means. So right here on the edges, start with that first. See, the corners are playing the inside shoulder of the receivers because, again, they have the protection knowing that they have the sideline. So they can play hard on the inside. It also takes away the slant for Peyton Manning. So you want to play hard on the inside shoulder of the receivers and try to funnel those guys to where your help is down the sideline. Cover 1, which means the free safety will be deep in the field, or one safety deep, and he has the deep third responsibility by himself, helping out either cornerback that could get beat. So what we're going to do with the front 7, nose tackle Dontari Poe is going to have to push through that center, create that interior pressure. And what we're doing here, contain blitzer on the C gap. We're going to shoot the 5 technique on the weak side in the B gap, because we're bringing the outside linebacker, Tamba Ali, on the outside. He's also the contained blitzer. Forget about the formation. We know the Broncos don't run 2-back sets. This is more instructional for the defense. I have to explain that every time. So we're going to send the backer down the B gap. That's his job as well, shooting this B gap. And we're going to drop inside backer here. And this is where the banjo comes, because as the cadence starts to wind down and you feel the ball is about to be snapped, you're going to see the strong safety work his way up. Peyton Manning is going to think it's a blitz between the linebacker and the strong safety, giving the illusion that they're sending the house. Here's the safety blitz. We have to get rid of this football quickly. But as the middle backer goes, you're going to see the strong safety replace him and drop back in his coverage, banjoing the tight end, because we have the backer dropping back in his responsibility. So the tight end's coming here. Both guys are playing inside out. If he breaks out to the out, it's the backer's job. If he breaks in, it's the safety's job to get him picked up. So you're combo covering the tight end, but you're also sending pressure with the 5 technique, the nose, the 5, and 2 backers, and you're still dropping in your coverage. So that's how they can get pressure on Peyton Manning, but still protect themselves with guys underneath. They trust their corners to play man on the outside. You have a free safety deep down the middle of the field, and you're getting pressure on the backside. We know Peyton Manning can't move, so that's how the Kansas City Chiefs can get pressure this week on Peyton Manning. If they can do that and get him on the ground or force an errant throw and get a turnover, that's big for that Chiefs offense. Like we mentioned before, the Kansas City Chiefs trust their personnel and they will go man more often than not versus Peyton Manning. And one way they can attack man coverage is by creating those natural rub routes and trying to hit a big play in the seam. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Spread set for the Denver Broncos. We're going to bring this guy in a fast motion. The reason why you want to bring this outside receiver, this Z receiver, in a fast motion, one is going to put this cornerback in the bind. He's going to have to get over top of the formation quickly in order to catch this rub route. So we're sprinting him across the formation, outside leg of the tackle, snap the ball. He's running the speed out. That is your built-in hot read so Peyton Manning can get the football quickly. I would suggest this is Wes Welker because he is speedy and he is quick. You want to get him out in the flats quickly because we're running double slants on the backs on the front side. So boom, slant, slant. And what that is going to do is going to put this free safety in the bind because we're probably going to see the linebacker jump out in front of here. Everyone's going to probably jump that responsibility. Back is blocking. We're going to hold this strong safety here because we're going to have the tight end blocking as well. So that way he's wasted towards a coverage defender. And we're going to send this guy across the field, hopefully hitting a big play right there on the skinny post. So I think that's how the Broncos can have some success using motion, trying to create the rub route, trying to get that cornerback across the trash. You have a built-in hot read right here. You also have the ability to hit this quick slant here, or if this free safety is trying to be a hero and jump underneath it, you have that one right there as this guy is going to be running away from the coverage, the zone coverage of the linebacker. So that's how playing man can put you in the bind. When you have a quarterback like Peyton Manning, he's smart enough to find where the hot reads are and get out of a bad play into a good one. And this is one example of how they can do that this week versus Kansas City.
The X factor in this ball game for Kansas City will be their defensive coordinator, Bob Sutton, and what he has dialed up versus Peyton Manning in that passing game. If they're able to trust their personnel on the corners and get pressure on Manning, the Chiefs have an excellent shot of winning this ball game. I believe the X factor for the Broncos will be no Sean Moreno. I think on both ends of offense, his pass protection is vital. He's the best pass protecting back they have on the roster. Also, his running skills will need to be utilized a lot versus his Chiefs defense to calm the pressure, and his ability to catch the football out of the backfield. So I think in all three phases, he has to have a great game in order for the Broncos to win. Now, here are some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For Kansas City, points add up. When you have a very good defense like the Chiefs have, arguably one of the best defenses in the game, you just need points, whether that's field goals, touchdowns, safeties. Points add up. Just try to put points on the board, and that way you have a great chance to win. And you want to dance with the person you came with to the party. In my opinion, that's bringing your defensive aggressiveness. Don't try to get conservative in this ball game because you're facing Peyton Manning in that passing game. Stay aggressive. That's what has led you to a 9-0 record. And you want to stay with that rabbit personnel. That's your speed guys, your Donnie Averys, Dexter McClusters, and Jamal Charles. Have all those guys on the field at the same time. That would cause a lot of problems for that Broncos defense. And for the Broncos in this ball game, you want to beat them with base. That's staying in your Bob protection. That's man-on-man blocking. Go with that inside zone, your leads, your ISOs, even some wham. I think that's how they can run the football effectively versus Kansas City. And you want to excel in special teams. Both teams in this ball game have great special teams unit, but if you're the Broncos, you want to excel in that department and take away that one element from the Chiefs. And you want to play the sticks on defense. Like I've said before, the Chiefs don't do anything special offensively. So if you find yourself in third and short, third and medium, play the sticks and get these guys off the field. I like the Chiefs in this ballgame. I think what you'll see offensively is a lot of misdirection in the running game as well as in the passing game to try to catch the Broncos out of position, and they do have the speed to make a big play off of it. And on defense, that team speed with the ability to match up one-on-one on the corners versus a hobbled Peyton Manning, I think the Chiefs will do a great job of getting pressure and ultimately knocking off the Broncos. And I want to give a huge shout out to Chief fan forums and Bronco fan forums for always showing football game plan support.